Decisions, decisions, decisions. You know, the other day, I was helping my youngest son do his homework. He's in kindergarten, and yes, they have homework in kindergarten. And so I said, which of these two sheets would you like to do? Well, there he says, can I do eeny, meeny? And I said, sure. And so there he proceeded to go back and forth in the eeny and the meeny and the miny and the mo and all the different variations. And then he finally decided on a sheet to do. He did it and he completed his homework. You know, I don't know about you, but sometimes when you're planning a worship set, it seems like it's eeny, meeny, miny, or mo. Well, in this segment, I would like to share with you some decisions that you can consider to help make your worship service planning more effective. So you can put together a worship set list, a worship music set list that will usher in the presence of God, facilitate the Spirit's moving, and engage your people, hopefully to the point of being transformed. That is the ultimate goal, really, in terms of being in God's presence. So, here they are. It's about 12 things that I found that are helpful for you to be considering. I don't know if I'll have them in any particular order, but you'll see how they all weave together. First thing I think you want to consider as you're putting together your worship set list and planning that is the vibe. And this is really something that applies to the overall service, your worship experience. Do we have a pretty mellow experience? Do we have a high energy, rock and roll, high intensity experience, or are we more laid back? A little more, maybe a little more traditional or contemporary, but really down tempo. So what is our feel for this particular service? So we want to set the vibe. And then as we're thinking about that vibe, we want to think about if there's a theme. Has the pastor said, we're going to be talking on this subject for this series of weekends? And if so, this specific weekend, is there something unique about that the music can particularly help impact and shape and focus people's minds toward? Another element to consider is the interactive elements. Some people have a specific time of prayer where there's a garden of prayer, they come forward, or maybe they kneel at the pews or they stand and pray. Some services, they like to, of course, take an offering, or maybe they have a time of fellowship, a meet and greet time. Do we do that in a song, separate from a song? Those kinds of interactive elements are going to be helpful to know as you start to select and put together your worship set. Considering the vibe, you also going to be aware of tempos of songs. So if we're going up tempo to start with, we're going to be celebratory and exalt God's name and praise Him. Wow, maybe we want to go up tempo, and then as we maybe come to a little more intimate and reflective time in the service, if that's part of the journey that particular weekend, then maybe we want to slow down the tempos. So you're going to be wanting to think about tempos as you go through them. And these principles really apply to any kind of service, but whether it's contemporary, blended, traditional, these considerations all come into play. Now, I think it's time we choose some songs. Now, deciding which songs, if you notice, didn't necessarily come first. Songs fitting into the context is going to be more effective than just to simply choose the songs, oh yeah, by the way. So you want to choose your songs in the context of the vibe and the feel of your service and maybe the direction, the theme that you're going, and so forth. As you start to consider your songs, think about whether you want to do all familiar or maybe a new song. It's good to introduce a new song from time to time. How will introducing a new song impact this particular service? Will it be more effective? Will it really land on the point and help reinforce what the pastor is going to be teaching on? As you consider the songs, think about the keys. If you're like me and you're a baritone, second tenor, you have a certain set of keys that your voice works well in. You may be an alto and then you have a certain set, or a soprano, and so on. So you want to think about the keys And also think about those keys in terms of your congregation and the makeup of your congregation, and what keys really work well for them to join in and participate. Considering the keys, another decision might be who is going to lead this particular song. It may be that a woman's voice would be best used to lead a particular song because of the range of the song, and because maybe of the lyric content or what have you. Or maybe you have someone who has a particular gift at syncopation or a little smoother sound or whatever it is you're looking that would help, again, communicate what you're trying to communicate through this particular song. So you've chosen the leader and some songs and so forth. But now we probably want to get into a little more detail and think about the instrumentation of our band, or if you're having a more traditional service or blended service, who's going to be up there, what are we going to do that particular weekend. And the instrumentation will help support, again, the vibe, the theme, the look and feel, the experience that you're trying to create. Arrangements make an important impact on your worship set as well. So a couple of arrangement decisions that you're going to want to consider are you're going to want to consider the instrumental arrangement, as in am I going to use mainly acoustic guitar on this song? Are we going to go full drive with electric, acoustic, keyboard, drum, bass on this song? What's the instrumental makeup of the particular song? In terms of arrangement, you're also going to want to think about how are we going to do the song. Are we going to go verse, chorus, chorus? Are we going to put the bridge, if there is one in there? Are we going to not use the bridge? Are we going to start with the chorus to help teach the people the song if it's new? These decisions work. And then another arrangement consideration and decision that you're going to want to make is vocally. What's your vocal arrangement? Are the guys going to carry the melody? Are the gals going to carry the melody? Are we going to switch it up a little bit and have a unison section or a solo section followed by parts? Or are we going to start big, come back down, depending again on what you're trying to accomplish with this particular song. Finally, I think the last piece that tends to weave everything together is your transitions. And that's probably the key final decision that you're going to want to make. How am I going to go from song A to song B to song C? Are they all going to be in the same key? Are we going to need to change keys? Or are we going to need to transition in a different way? We're going to use musical transitions, or we're going to use a prayer? Is someone going to share a testimony? How are we going to make those transitions? So those are 12 decisions that you can utilize to help make your worship set planning more effective. And thank you for your time. I look forward to sharing more tips with you another time.